My name is Nick Belizzi. I grew up in Alameda, an island near Oakland and San Francisco. The East Bay area is a hub for industry, transportation, and culture, including the Port of Oakland, which is adjacent to the island. It's an ethnically diverse place, and Alameda was home to one of the biggest naval bases in California. The island is a nice place to live, with many people and businesses moving there. While there is a high density of people in the East Bay, the issue of food deserts can be a problem where people don't have access to healthy foods. According to the USDA, a food desert is described as a geographic area where the residents' access to healthy and affordable food, such as fruits, vegetables, and healthful whole foods, is restricted based on proximity to grocery stores, farmers markets, or other healthy food providers. The areas highlighted are in the East Bay region and are considered food deserts because they are more than 1 mile from a grocery store. The most impacted places where food deserts occur is in poor income areas as well as rural areas. Both have in common difficulty in access to transportation and expendable income. The result is that people tend to gravitate towards fast food restaurants and convenience stores, food that more than likely is high in fat, sugar, and salt. Another factor is that healthy foods in general have become more expensive. The overall price of fruits and vegetables has risen considerably from 1989 to 2005 by 75%, while fatty foods have dropped by 26% in the same period. What this has done to people across America is affect their long-term health, and we have seen increases in chronic diseases such as obesity and diabetes that have been affected by diet. The health impact of limited access to healthy food leads to higher percentages of obesity. The habits of adults get passed down to children, which has caused childhood obesity to increase threefold over the past 30 years. Inactivity in diet increases the incidence of heart disease, cancer, stroke, and diabetes, which could be altered if healthier foods were accessible and being consumed on a regular basis. To combat these negative effects of living in a food desert, there are many solutions. Often transportation is the limiting factor in food deserts, and legislation can help by funding public transportation for these citizens. Farmers markets are a growing movement across the country, which community organizers can initiate. At these markets in California, food stamps have been allowed to be used to encourage people to eat healthy and buy fresh produce. A solution that I think would greatly benefit the growing youth most is education of where food comes from by having gardens and growing food as a part of education in schools. Community gardens and school gardens go a long way to give people experience a feeling of independence and pride of growing food and understanding its source. On a local level in the Oakland area, there are people working towards this. For example, City Slicker Farms is a group that is closing the knowledge and skills gap for individuals and communities to grow their own food. They focus on turning urban, unused areas into landscapes providing healthy, affordable food. Fat Beats is a group that facilitates youth leadership in health and nutrition education and connects small farmers to urban communities via the creation of farm stands, farmers markets, and urban youth market gardens. In Alameda, there is the Alameda Point Collective, where formerly homeless families can participate in the farm there. Young people work on the farm and use farm production, produce sales, managing volunteer groups, and practicing personal accountability to give trainees a wide range of transferable skills. All across America, there are food deserts where healthy food is not highly accessible or affordable. There are solutions that aim towards community involvement, education about growing food and understanding where food comes from, while improving grocery store accessibility to mend the gap in food supply. Chronic illness associated with food deserts may be diminished over time if steps are continued to educate and increase food supply to these regions.